Imagine every insect on Earth vanishes at once. The buzzing stops. The world goes strangely quiet. A butterfly mid-flight is suddenly gone. Beehives fall silent in an instant. Ants disappear from every sidewalk and forest floor. At first, like a blessing. No mosquitoes, no flies, no stinging wasps. But this silence is the start of something terrifying, because Earth was secretly running on 6 legs. Insects make up over half of all known animal species. Without them, the planet's hidden machinery begins to stall. For a single morning, humans celebrate. Picnics feel perfect. Summer nights feel calm and clean. The farmers notice something first. The fields are too quiet. Something essential is missing from the air. Bees are gone. So are butterflies, moths, beetles, and hoverflies. The pollinators have vanished completely. Roughly 75% of food crops depend on animal pollination. Most of that work was done by insects. Apples stop forming. Almonds fail. Berries, melons, and coffee plants produce nothing at all. Chocolate quietly disappears. Cocoa flowers are pollinated by tiny midges that no longer exist. Within weeks, supermarkets thin out. The bright produce aisle becomes pale and limited. Wheat, rice, and corn still grow. They are wind-pollinated, and they alone now feed the world. Diets shrink to grains and a few hearty vegetables. Nutrition collapses long before calories do. Meanwhile, something stranger happens in the fields. Dead animals are not disappearing the way they used to. Flies, beetles, and ants were Earth's cleanup crew. Without them, carcasses linger far too long. Decomposition slows dramatically. Nutrients stay locked inside dead bodies instead of returning to the soil. Dung piles up across pastures. Cattle ranchers watch fields turn unusable beneath untouched waste. In Australia, in the 1800s, this actually happened. Imported cows produced dung native beetles refused to touch. Pastures suffocated until dung beetles were introduced. Now imagine that crisis, everywhere, with no fix coming. Soil itself begins to suffer. Ants and termites once tunneled, aerated, and mixed the ground constantly. Without them, soil compacts. Water cannot soak in properly. Roots struggle to breathe underground. Forests feel it next. Termites in the tropics recycle enormous volumes of dead wood each year. Fallen trees stop rotting normally. Dry timber piles up across every continent. Wildfire risk climbs sharply. Birds wake to empty skies. Most songbirds feed their chicks on caterpillars and soft insects. Swallows, warblers, and flycatchers starve within days. Their nests fall silent across every forest. Studies suggest insects feed billions of birds globally. Remove them, and entire migrations simply collapse. Freshwater ecosystems unravel too. Mayflies, caddisflies, and dragonflies were the base of countless food chains. Fish lose their main food source. Trout, salmon, and minnows weaken in rivers everywhere. Frogs and salamanders, who eat insects almost exclusively, vanish from ponds within a single season. Bats drop from the sky. A single bat eats thousands of mosquitoes in one night. With no insects, bats starve in weeks. So do anteaters, pangolins, and most reptiles. The food web has a hidden foundation. Insects were holding up an enormous invisible pyramid. Now picture a forest in late summer. No buzzing, no clicking, no tiny movement in the leaves. Just wind, just stillness, a silence that feels deeply, instinctively wrong. Scientists call insects the little things that run the world. We are finally seeing why. Back in cities, a different problem grows. Garbage attracts no flies, but rats and bacteria explode instead. Microbes take over the cleanup role, but microbes alone are slower and far less efficient. Disease patterns shift unpredictably. Some illnesses fade with mosquitoes gone, others surge from rotting organic waste. Malaria cases drop sharply. So do dengue, Zika, and sleeping sickness. Millions of lives are spared. This is the one bright spot, and it is genuinely enormous for human health. But the cost is staggering elsewhere. Would you trade every bee for every mosquito? Tell me below. Because nature does not let us choose, insects come as a single, tangled package deal. Months pass. Farmers try hand-pollinating crops with brushes, the way some Chinese orchards already do. It works for a few luxury fruits. It cannot scale to feed 8 billion people. Robotic pollinators are tested. Tiny drones visit flowers one by one across vast fields. The energy cost is staggering. Insects did this work for free for hundreds of millions of years. Global food prices skyrocket. Coffee, chocolate, and fruit become rare luxuries. Meat grows scarce as livestock feed fails. Ecosystems keep crumbling. Wildflowers vanish where no pollinator visits them. Meadows turn into grass and weeds. Forests slowly lose diversity. Only wind-pollinated trees like pines and oaks reproduce reliably anymore. The landscape itself begins to change color. Less variety in flowers means a paler, simpler world. A year in, the silence has become normal. Children grow up never hearing a cricket sing. Summer evenings feel hollow. No fireflies, no moths circling lamps, no hum behind the warm night air. Something emotional shifts too. Humans evolved alongside that background music. Its absence feels like missing a heartbeat. 2 years in, soils across farmland are visibly degrading. Yields keep falling despite fertilizers and irrigation. Coral reefs suffer indirectly. Many reef fish depended on insect-rich rivers feeding nutrients into coastal waters. The oceans were never separate. Land insects fed rivers, which fed estuaries, which fed seas. 5 years in, mass extinctions began among vertebrates. Roughly 60% of bird species are critically endangered. Amphibians are nearly gone. Reptiles follow. Small mammals that ate insects collapse across every continent. The planet has lost something it cannot replace. Insects took 400 million years to evolve. No other group can fill that role quickly. Evolution does not work on human timescales. But humans, remarkably, survive. We are clever, omnivorous, and willing to eat almost anything to endure. Diets shift to grains, seaweed, mushrooms, and lab-grown protein. Civilization continues, smaller and humbler than before. Yet the world we knew is gone. The vibrant, buzzing, blooming earth becomes something flatter and grayer. And here's the honest twist. This is not entirely hypothetical. Insect populations are already falling fast. Some studies estimate insect biomass has dropped by 75% in certain regions since the 1980s. Scientists call it the insect apocalypse. Habitat loss, pesticides, and climate change are the main drivers. We are not losing all insects, but we are losing enough to feel real consequences. Pollinator declines already threaten crops. Bird populations linked to insects are falling across Europe and North America. The thought experiment is a warning. The small creatures we ignore are quietly holding everything together. So, step back and look at a single bee. It weighs less than a paperclip. Yet without it, and trillions like it, civilization itself begins to wobble within a single growing season. That is the staggering truth the scenario reveals. Power on Earth is not measured by size. It is measured by connection, and insects are the most connected creatures on the planet. If you found this unsettling and fascinating, drop a comment with the insect you would miss most. And subscribe with the bell on for more big what-ifs that change how you see the world. Because sometimes the smallest things ask the biggest questions, and the answer is always closer than we think.